All right, welcome to the Real for Life podcast, episode 4. Bringing the noise, bringing the ruckus with Jesse and Joe. How you doing, buddy?
Tired.
So, for the people that don't know, the premise of this show is me and Joe call each other 5 or 10 minutes every single day, and Joe's got a real job, and he's tired of me calling him every goddamn day. So instead, we save it up, and we wait till Sundays, and we record. I thought, Joe, this week, if you're okay with it, we would read out the subjects that we wrote down first and then go.
Well, that's always the goal.
Just to let people wet their beak a little bit.
So obviously you want to start.
Oh, I'm just going to read off my list. You read off your list, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, so we're doing like a table of contents.
Yeah, we're doing a little preview for the peoples, all 8 of them. So I got pottery teacher pay. Why is it the same? Why we like Morgan Whalen. Hey dudes. Real estate commission. Taco Bell 1776. Dump run and living the dream equals bad service.
Interesting.
What do you got?
Interesting. I only have 2 and they're small. And it sounds awful when I say them out loud.
I normally I would say 2 of them, they sound small. I'd make a joke about your balls, but I know the Condon balls are huge.
Not anymore, dude. I'm on a lot of tests, so makes my dick look bigger. I have wife garbage, which
Okay.
I'm not calling my wife garbage. It's just referring to the garbage process.
Okay.
And favorite movies.
Oh, I like
And-
that.
And it was a conversation I had with my kids.
I like that. I was actually thinking about it the other day. I was like, if we ever come to a point in the show where we don't have a lot to talk about, I love me a good top 5 list.
Right.
Yeah. What was the movies thing?
So both my boys were just talking and they were like, what's your favorite movie? And they asked me, and I was like, dude, I don't know. That's a tough question. And
It's impossible to answer. What
right,
genre?
Right. And so like I was like, 13 hours. Like I watched 13 hours a lot. It's a great movie.
Great movie. Yeah.
And they're like, I knew you were gonna say that. I'm like, well, it's based on a true story, and it's a good movie. And then Carter was talking about Happy Gilmore and basically every Adam Sandler movie. And I don't remember what Jalen said. I don't think he actually answered that question, but I think it would be Ready Player One.
Surprisingly good. I didn't want to watch that movie, and when I watched it,
super good.
I was like,
good.
fuck, this stands
You got the
up.
soundtrack, and then you got a great principle and the obvious destination of where we're going to end up, which is awful as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that was a Friday conversation, and we were driving to the mall today because they wanted to go to the mall, and then I was like, Mallrats.
Oh yeah.
And I was
When do
like,
I get to see the goddamn sailboat?
right. I'm like, I quote this movie more than any other movie, and people don't realize it. Like, I haven't seen the movie in probably 15 years, and I could probably recite it still.
Dude, true romance. If you're going to propose
true
when
romance.
Jaws pops out of the water, that's how you do it.
I thought you were about the movie True Romance. Also a great movie.
Yeah. No. In the movie, he's like, he's going to propose to his chick at Universal Studios when Jaws pops out of the water.
Right. Obvious.
Yeah.
And then the topless fortune teller.
Yes. Dude, Mallrats is badass. So me and you have talked about this before, but with your average bro, we basically judge a movie's quality by how many catchphrases you can take from it. So
absolutely.
Long-standing Dumb and Dumber, like way the fuck up top.
Well, and I said Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura?
Like, you're going to pull from that all the time. Right.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, we were driving to the mall. I was like, fucking Mallrats. Like, great movie.
I think number one, there's definitely a new winner in the wheelhouse, and it would be very difficult to challenge. And that is The Other Guys. Mark Wahlberg,
Dude,
Will Ferrell.
See, I fucking love that movie. It's so underrated.
So many fucking catchphrases.
Every line.
Every fucking line. Like you can make an entire movie off of just Michael Keaton's fucking TLC references.
Right.
But it's like a 20th of that movie.
Right. Every sentence they say is a setup. Like everything. It's
Listen,
so
guys,
good.
Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. Dude, why are you quoting TLC again? Who's TLC? Never heard of him. Listen, I'm not kidding.
I got 2 drops.
You got to creep. You got to creep. I got 2 jobs. I'm a cat. I'm the fucking chief of police, and I work part-time at Bed Bath & Beyond so I can support my son while he goes to NYU to be a gender non-binary DJ.
It's so fucking good. And then when he's giving the speech and he's at Bed Bath & Beyond and he's like, all right, we got some like serial killer down. Blah,
we got some
blah.
rapists out in fucking Central Park. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Wrong job. The new bath mats are in.
Oh, so good. Dirty.
If you haven't seen the other
guys,
you got to see. Oh, yeah. Dirty Mike and the boys. Yeah, they had an orgy in your Prius over there. It's called a soup kitchen.
It's so good.
We will have sex in that Prius. Which pisses me off. I have a Prius. We've never had sex in it.
There's no room.
There's plenty of room. I'm just afraid if we have sex, I'll grow a man bun.
Oh, dude. So years ago, Katie drove like a 2000 something Impala with 20s, you know. But our kids were young. So we had like
to get pregnant in.
Oh yeah. So but we had like child seats in the back because the kids were like 2 and 3 or whatever. And so we go on this date night and I take her up to Sunset Cliffs.
Oh yeah,
which she's never been to, which I felt was crazy, but awesome that she hasn't. Obviously, she never dated a guy with a job, but so we take her to Sunset Cliffs, which I don't even have to explain it. It's a fucking cliff, and it overlooks the town. It's in every movie you've ever seen of the town of looking over the town.
Yeah,
so we up there.
Spokane's a beautiful town.
Yeah, and we were like overlooking shit, blah blah blah. So then we're like, hey, let's go to the car. And that's when I realized I'm old. So we get in the car, we start messing around, but we're fumbling over like car seats and like trying to make it work. Like, what are we doing? Like, can we just go home? We have a bed.
Dude, if kids have been in your car, it's ruined. You're trying to grab her ass. You're like, why is there a goldfish stuck to my fucking palm?
What is sticky underneath this seat? Like, it's
man.
No, I was like, right then, I was like, this is stupid.
How
like,
old is this Capri Sun?
Right.
Oh, man.
So gross.
It's a little different as you get older.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. We own our house. Like, why would you just go do that?
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound comfortable at all.
No, miserable.
Movies, though, I feel like there's different. It's hard to pick out a favorite movie because different movies are good for different reasons. So,
correct.
My son cannot sit through a whole fucking movie. His ADHD is off the scale. He can't fucking do it. He did it the other night. So he's starting to play with his Transformers again. And so I'm like, well, let's watch Transformers 1. And I'm trying to explain to him that Transformers, Shia LaBeouf, love it or hate it, Transformers fucking changed movies because of the sound effects.
Okay.
The sound effects in the fucking first Transformers in the theater where you actually have subwoofers are fucking incredible.
And it's the best one.
It is the best one. You watch the whole thing. We're talking Megan Fox in her prime.
Right. I was about to say Megan Fox is in it.
Oh yeah. So, but the sound effects are awesome. Yeah, it's a good movie. Different movies, good, different categories. There's always those movies that you have kind of in the corner just in case. God damn it. I started saying it. Now I got to finish it. Do you have any movies in your queue that are like, I know I'm going to cry when I watch this, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on?
13 hours.
Okay, that's yours.
I cry at the end of 13 hours every time.
I have a lot of them because I'm a bitch. But like, if I want a good feel good, by the way, all my movies, every single one of them has Mark Wahlberg. Fucking all of them. Every fucking genre. So if I need a good cry, Instant Family. Instant Family.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, it's fucking great. And then the other one that like I there's no way I don't cry when I watch this movie is We Were Soldiers, Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
I watch that every Memorial Day. That's like my Memorial Day
go-to. And off the field. Whatever the line is.
Dude, the fucking Masters or I had a couple too many beers. The fucking sergeant, not the first sergeant, not the master sergeant.
I don't know. I was in the fucking army. I was in the Navy. I don't know the fucking ranks.
Anyway, that fucking enlisted guy making fun of like the young. Every day, the guy comes up to him and is like, "Well, good morning," fucking sergeant guy, and he's like, "What the fuck are you now, a weatherman?" And then they get in the shit, and the guy's like buried in mud. He's like, "Now it's a good day, Sergeant Savage."
Have you seen Sandcastle?
No.
Fucking super good. So I think it's like Iraq, some desert shithole. And the beginning of the movie, and I thought it was a series, and I was like, "This is gonna be a great series." It's on Netflix, and it's not a series; it's a fucking movie, which was upsetting because it'd be an amazing series. So the first scene is this kid, and he smashes his fucking hand in a Humvee to try to get out of war, right? So he breaks his own hand, and
right.
And then it just kind of goes from there. Henry Cavill, Superman, however you say his fucking name's in it. Small role in it, but it's a true depiction of the military. Kind of like Jarhead was. Like Jarhead. Dude, like people didn't understand Jarhead, but I was like, that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of bullshit. You're not doing anything.
There's a huge difference between movies that are actually by the way, it was Sergeant Major. I'm a fucking moron, by the way. But anyway, yeah, there's certain movies that are of the military and are complete bullshit, and there's some that are like spot on. So like Jarhead, pretty fucking accurate. By the way, one of Jamie Foxx's best fucking roles.
Yes.
He was fucking incredible in that movie. But the other one, have you seen Generation Kill?
I know I have, but I don't remember anything about it.
I think it's like a 13-point series. It was on HBO. And
then no, I haven't.
Oh, dude, now that is the closest depiction of the actual fucking military I've ever seen, and it's a true story. It's basically told by, it was a fucking Rolling Stone reporter that embedded with a Marine unit on the original surge into Iraq in 2003.
Okay.
And so it's from his perspective. And it's so fucking dialed because it shows all the stupid antics amongst the enlisted, like making fun of each other for race or where they're from.
Everything.
Just talking shit on everything, but in a loving way.
Right.
And then you've got a bunch of officers that don't know their fucking head from a hole in the ground. And then you've got one officer that actually knows his shit. And he always gets in trouble because he's actually standing up for his fucking guys. Right? It is the truest fucking description ever. They're getting ready to roll into fucking Iraq, and they're diped up and just fucking down in fucking what was it called back then? Rocket fuel or jacked fuel or whatever that was, just the super fucking caffeine pills.
We took yellow jackets on the flight deck.
Oh yeah, I've taken those. Yeah. When we had to study, because one thing they don't tell you, like, so Joe joined the Navy, I joined the Army. I wanted to go to X-ray school, and the Army is the only branch that guarantees you the job you sign up for. What they don't tell you is that if you're a dumbass like me and you don't pass the school, you go to what's called needs of the Army. And they just make you whatever they need more of. You could be a bath and shower specialist, a fucking cook, whatever.
Did not know that.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And they don't tell you that till you're in the school. So, like, it motivates you to do better. And I had one test. It was radiation physics that I had to retest on, and it scared the shit out of me.
I do miss. I mean, I'm sure you had classes in boot camp.
Yeah. I mean, you go through the same standard classes that everybody goes through.
So you get this booklet at that time of basically they're just reading you the booklet, and then you fill in the words of what they're saying, so you're paying attention. Essentially, that's what I remember of it. But the room is like 30 degrees because they're trying to keep you awake.
Yep.
So you're like freezing your ass off and have no fucking sleep. And I wish I still had that book because most of the words I wrote in that were unlegible. And there was pencil lines off the page of like, I fell asleep and then the pencil just went, and then I'd wake up and then you just, because you're so deprived.
Well, the Army is no different than any other big company. You've got a ton of bureaucratic red tape bullshit that you have to do before you can actually train. So like we had our first 2 weeks of basic training was nothing but classrooms. And if you started falling asleep, they're like, hey, private, go hold up that fucking wall. And you would just go do like a squat on the wall and hold that motherfucker up because it may fall.
Did they ever make your unit make the, what do they say? Make the, fuck. It's been so long. Basically make it rain. They'd call it make it rain.
No,
and
I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah. So like in your unit, whatever, like within your berthing, I don't know what the Army calls it.
Platoon?
Where you sleep.
Oh, your barracks.
Barracks. We call it berthing. Anyways, which is all concrete. It's a concrete tube with bunk beds. So like if they were pissed off at you, they'd make it rain and they basically would just PT you until the condensation built up from the ceiling and started dripping.
So ours was the opposite. They would for us that was called getting smoked.
Oh, so I've literally seen somebody break their nose because they're doing push-ups and it was so sweaty.
Oh man, his face. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they do any of this anymore.
I don't know, man. I was super lucky. I was the last class, not the last class. I was at the second to last base that was all male. And like I had friends like Clint that went to like different basic trainings where they had men and women.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like a huge fucking pain in the ass.
We had men and women, but there was women units and men units. There was no mixed units.
Oh, yeah. So in the Army, they're mixed units, but you have different barracks and it just creates tons of confusion. Of course, a bunch of idiots like, you know, you've got what is basically a 3.5 on the outside starts looking like a 9.5.
Oh, absolutely.
In about week 3. And so these idiots end up like, you know, going out in the bushes somewhere and getting pregnant. And
oh, yeah. Same thing on the boat. Same thing on the boat. You're out on a boat for fucking months. And all of a sudden a 3 looks like a 10. And yeah, my buddy married one. I was like, do not marry this girl.
Dumbest decision ever.
And it was her second marriage.
Of course.
Yep. They're divorced.
Of course.
Just like, dude.
Military marriages are not real fucking marriage.
No.
That's the big thing. And so I listen to this podcast. I watch it every fucking week. The Drinking Bros. I love those guys. So the one guy, Dan Holloway, who's got a bunch of master's degrees and was in the 82nd Airborne, he was on Tucker Carlson a lot when he was on Fox. So now that Tucker's gone, every once in a while, Jesse Waters will have him on. I don't think he's going to be on anymore. So last week he was on and they were talking about Nikki Haley.
Okay.
And he was basically saying, like, by the way, have you noticed that Nikki Haley is playing the whole military husband card a lot lately, like almost to an offensive degree? Listen, Nimrata, you can't fucking talk about your military husband when you cheated on him while he was deployed multiple times. And Jesse Waters is just like, do we know that happened? Because he can just smell the fucking lawsuit, right?
Right.
And Dan's like, oh, it happened. There's 2 soldiers that I know that have signed fucking affidavits. Like, she definitely cheated on her husband.
Dude,
that happens to every fucking military.
There was a fucking bar outside the base called the Trophy Lounge. And then we call it a Westpac widower. So Westpac's 6 months long. So you know the husband's gone for 6 months. So all the younger guys that were not on deployment would go to the trophy lounge, and it was a fucking crapshoot.
Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am. My wife
We
loves
had-
me.
We had,
Yes, you do.
cheers, bro. I fooled around with a chick in the military once and didn't even know that she was married and her husband was deployed. So like I was a Jody and didn't even know it and felt like a total asshole because this guy was like a legit soldier, not like me. Like he was actually over there fighting.
Right.
And his fucking dumbass wife is over here fooling around with me, didn't even tell me she was married.
Yeah. Happens.
Yeah.
Bitches be crazy.
Bitches do be crazy. You mind if I hit this list?
Sure.
All right, let's take turns here. So my first one, the reason I thought of this was because we were talking about teachers and like how basically, you know, they say they're underpaid, but they get 3 months off in the summer, a week at spring break, 2 weeks at they get a fucking
And not in our
shit ton
school
of time
district. Our school district is one of the highest paid in the fucking state.
off. Absolutely. And it got me thinking, like, me and you have definitely teachers that actually did make an impact on our lives. Like for me, it was Mr. Inman. Did you ever have him? He had like
Never
a
had
long
him.
ponytail.
No, but he was always in jail.
Always in jail. So this motherfucker rode his bike to school in Spokane, which is not a place you ride your bike to work. You will get taken out. And he had a big ponytail. And every year,
Let's
he
just
would-
explain. He was a huge hippie.
oh, huge hippie.
Yeah,
But
you got to say that first, so it makes more sense.
I think if he were alive today, he would be a conservative.
Is
He
he
probably
dead?
is still alive. I hope he's alive today.
He's got to be alive.
So he was literally banned from entering the state of Georgia because every year he would go to where I went to basic training, Fort Benning, and they had a place called School of Americas. And
So he
that's
was there with
basically,
Ray Charles.
so that's the School of Americas is where our soldiers train soldiers from overseas on how to fight war. Like Bin Laden was there. So we train all these
That seems like a
motherfuckers from
great
overseas.
idea.
And then they obviously turn around and start hating us and use our own tactics against us. But he was
And
totally
weapons.
against that. So he would go and he would, you know, have a protest there once a year. And he was literally banned from the fucking state. But I never did a lick of homework in his class. But me and him went round and round every fucking class. And he always gave me an A+ because he wasn't trying to like sway you into opinion. What he was trying to do was stimulate you into thinking for yourself and challenging you, which I don't feel like is happening anymore. Like he wasn't trying to indoctrinate you. He was literally just trying to stimulate you into seeing two different views and see where you would go.
Well, now it's disgusting. Your kid's 7, 8?
8, yeah.
Okay. I have 2 teenagers, and the school system now is a joke, and it's just scripted. And they don't, teachers, I'm sure there's some teachers that try to teach out there. I know multiple teachers that were those teachers that just hate the system now and are forced to like read the script and shut the fuck up.
That's the problem with unions.
Right. 100%.
100%. So it's actually funny. I got a really nice message from one of my wife's pharmacy friends this week that listened to the show. I don't know if you got that text.
Yeah.
And it was basically like, I don't agree with you politically at all, but it's nice to hear two buddies just chat, right? But I'm looking back at our shows. I don't think we've said anything controversial.
In Portland, we have.
Yeah, that's a good point. Where I was going with this pottery teacher subject was you've got teachers out there that teach real shit. Like Mr. Loft, who had to teach me algebra and I'm dumb as shit, right? And they're teaching like trigonometry, all this other stuff. But then you've got your buddy who taught fucking pottery.
Well, right, Mr. Strand. And that was my favorite teacher. I had him in calligraphy, pottery, not ceramics. There was another one that dealt with plastic. Like, that guy helped me a lot. So you don't understand that part.
But that's what I'm saying. You've got a guy teaching trigonometry, algebra, you know, world history. But then you've got Mr. Strand teaching pottery, calligraphy, and he gets paid the fucking same.
I would say a same. So, all right. So, like,
And he had some badass hot rods.
so when you get, yes, he did. His
Yeah.
shop is amazing. I already say this word wrong. Tendered. What?
Tenure.
Okay, so you become that.
Say like
You get
10 years, but like you're from the hood. Yo, I got 10 years, son. Tenure.
Right. So you're your masters or whatever. There's no masters in pottery. There might be. I could be wrong. But
Right.
all math, social studies, all that shit you get your masters in.
Yeah.
So no, the pay scale is different, but not.
Well, I'm assuming he had a side hustle because that dude had some sweet. He had more than one hot rod.
Oh, he built cars. That was his side hustle.
And he lived in Eaglewood.
No, he lived in Shiloh.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he was in Eaglewood.
Nope. Shiloh.
Shiloh's Eaglewood for poor people.
Yes.
Let it be known.
Sorry.
Let it be known, Spokane. You know where you're at. If your house is off in Nevada, you ain't rich.
Oh God. With that said, I actually know somebody that lives in Hilliard, which is worse than Shiloh. Shiloh's like, to explain, Shiloh's like one of the original, not one of the originals, because you got to think of Boeing areas. So like Boeing came in and they built all these tiny little houses in all these neighborhoods. So beyond Boeing, then they built like Shiloh that actually had like multi-room houses. And so it's like one of the original neighborhoods. It's just older now. It's not a bad area. Just the kids we went to school with thought it was bad and thought they were gangster.
When you had Kaiser Aluminum right there too.
Yeah.
Which, you know, was actually a very good place to work for a long time until it wasn't. And I remember, you know, one of my best friends, his dad worked for Heath. His dad worked for Kaiser, and they went on strike for years.
That was awful.
Yeah. It was terrible. And they just fucking replaced him. And, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm anti-union because of basically the industry I'm in and everything, and I see the effects of it.
I am 100% anti-union because
in manufacturing,
it was a time and place.
The only argument. Yeah, time and
place. It was a time and place. Like there was no OSHA, there was no rules or regulations, there was nothing. And so finally they unionized, and I was like, "This is fucking bullshit." And they created a law and a party, if you will. And so, like, it made absolute sense in the fucking 20s.
Yeah, but now they've taken it too far.
Yeah, now it's just killing work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good example. Last summer there was a lot of hoopla over. I think it was UPS.
You say
renegotiated
we
their
talk
contract.
Politics in any episode, and then we go down union.
Well, you know. But yeah, UPS got a contract where they were going to be making like $70 an hour for their drivers.
Right.
And then, so of course, what's happening this year? A lot of layoffs.
Naturally. Because they, again, and UPS is different, but like I'm a small business owner. So when people challenge on fair wages, well, minimum wage isn't a fair wage. I'll agree with that. But it's minimum wage. If your effort in life is to work minimum wage, then you're a minimum employee.
Yeah.
And with that said, I don't pay any of my employees minimum wage just to mark the calendar. But there's a reason it exists. It's a starting entry level position.
Well, and when I was a liberal, that was my argument. Like, if you work 40 hours a week, no matter what the job,
you should be able to own a house.
You should be able to support yourself. No. But what does support yourself mean? To me, a minimum wage job means if you're working 40 hours a week, minimum wage, you should be able to support yourself enough to live with two other roommates.
Right.
And they have either a bus pass or a shitty car.
Right.
Right.
But you can't smoke cigarettes, have a cell phone, and live by yourself.
Right. So
there's a difference. You have to take you can't move out of your parents' house and expect the same privilege that you had at your parents' house. You start from nothing, unless you're really rich and your parents take care of you, which is fine. Cool. Good for you. But you can't just move out of your situation and expect the exact same thing for nothing. Your parents or whomever, your guardians or whoever you live with, work their asses off to get to that point. You can't just
Yeah.
step right over and be like, I'm going to live exactly the same. No, you're going to fucking start from nothing. Or you should.
So that brings me to my next. I'm really interested to get your kind of lookout on this experience I had the other night because you own a restaurant bar. So we've been going to this place more and more lately called Portland Cider Company.
Okay.
And it's a cider place, and I fucking hate cider, but they keep 1 or 2 IPAs on tap, so it's good, right? So they got this new cook, and this guy's name's Vinny. This guy is basically like, have you watched The Bear?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that guy, like ridiculously skilled, amazing chef. I don't know how he ended up at Portland Cider Company, but he is the real deal, the real fucking deal. So like we went there a couple weeks ago before I knew like who he was or whatever. And this is a normal like tap room. They like there's no way a 5-star Michelin chef should be working there. But this is a guy, he's kind of like my brother. When he does something, he's proud of it. He takes pride in it and he wants to show other people.
Right.
So like I'm back there going to the bathroom and I'm in the back area where the kitchen is. And they used to have like pool tables and shit back there. So I'm like looking around and they're gone. And he's like, oh, what are you looking for? I'm like, oh, I just haven't been here in a while. Looks like there's no more games and stuff. He's like, yeah, we expanded the kitchen. Come check it out. He gave me a full tour of the kitchen. He's like, yeah, we're working on some new bread. I'm playing with different levels. And he's like, let me sample the bread. And like, I literally got a whole tour of their kitchen. It was badass, right? So we go there last night and the waitress comes to the table, and keep in mind, they got the best cook around. Hi, Katie.
You want to come around?
No, he's gonna make fun of my outfit.
Oh yeah, my wife's a true blood today.
Oh shit. Break through that brick wall with that red outfit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All Kool-Aid.
Hi, Katie.
Oh,
Okay, you're gonna be done for the kitchen closes?
yes. Can I have another beer in 10 minutes?
No,
In
I am
10
not
minutes.
working. No, I am leaving.
Love you too. Your hair looks nice.
Anyway, so Portland Cider Company. So we're there. The waitress comes to the table and she's just like, hey, how are you doing? What can I get you? And we're like, oh, hey, we'll do, start with water. How's it going? She's like, oh, living the dream.
Oh
With, like,
God.
a
So she's
sourpuss look on her face.
Yeah, those are the worst.
So it's just the dichotomy of like, you've got this cook named Vinny who's absolutely crushing it. He's proud of his job.
No, but
all
this
that
chick
good
wants
stuff.
more of a tip because she wants you to feel bad for her.
And this chick's just like acting like she's inconvenienced that you're there. She hates her job. So
Yeah.
immediately you're like, oh, fuck. Well, she doesn't even want us here. So of course she comes to our table like once every 30 minutes. We get towards the end of the meal and we put in an order for Tana's mom to go. And she never put it in. So of course I can't flag her down because she's too
Gone.
busy because there's 8 people in the whole fucking place. So I walk up to the bar and I'm like, hey, did you end up putting those chicken tendies in? It's like, oh, no, I'll put them in now. In the meantime, Vinny has left the kitchen and come to our table. Hey, how's it going? How's everything tasting? And we're like, oh, it's amazing. We ordered sweet potato thinking we were getting sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
Turns out it was a sweet potato that he just smushed. And I was like, yeah, I thought this was going to be fries and it's just a sweet potato, but it's fucking amazing. He's like, yeah, I saute him in butter for 3.5 hours. Then I do this, then I do this. And he's like, actually, I got one that I'm playing with. I dried it over 3 days and I crushed it down into flour and I'm making scones with it. Let me go grab you. So he brings us out a scone free of charge just to build the relationship.
Right.
And we're telling him how like Tana's mom, who's Asian, loves curry. You know, Tana's mom doesn't compliment anything, right? So we took her home his curry last time and she's like, this is the best curry I've ever had. Like you don't even know how high a praise that is. So we told him that and he's like, oh, she liked the curry. That's awesome. And of course, like, you know, my wife's Asian, so I'm assuming he's like, it's a cultural thing. He wants to impress, you know? So he brings out 2 chicken legs just to take home for her mom that are like curry, sesame, like
Some.
I'm just telling you, the guy fucking loves his work and it shows, and I love seeing that. And then the fucking waitress comes over with the to-go box finally, and she's like, yeah, they cooked it back there and they didn't even let me know it was done. So it's just been sitting there. She fucking threw I'm just going to say the best fucking cook in Portland right under the bus.
Yeah, it's always their fault.
Yeah.
The kitchen's the worst.
And so I'm just saying, like, I don't care what the job is.
So everybody knows, like, I'm
Depending on
being
the attitude you
condescending
go
on
into
that.
it. Yeah. But no matter what the job is, you can have 1 or 2 attitudes. And
I have
people
2
that have
right
a good
now.
attitude and just make the best out of their work, like, they're gonna go further.
Right. On front and back of the house, I always hire on personality. I don't give a fuck about experience. I hire on personality. I actually sit down 10 minutes before when they're filling out their paperwork and just kind of bullshit with them before my wife even comes over, because I want to learn who they are as a person. And then the interview starts. And I've already decided at that point if I'm going to hire them or not. Like,
Right.
It's personality and what you want to do. Luckily, right now, I have 2 cooks that, like, really give a shit about presentation, because I'm like, dude, we sell burgers. Like, we sell burgers, but make it look pretty. And again, I explained how to do it, but like, it has to be pretty. You're not going to spend $18 on a burger that looks like shit. You go to McDonald's or fast food, wherever, get a shitty burger. Anybody can make a burger. I got the highest praise, and it was so simple. And I'm not trying to boast. I'm a little boasting right now, but the dude that makes our sauces for our wings, he's like a sauce guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Picture that in your head.
Yeah.
He's Hawaiian though, but from the South.
Okay.
But picture a sauce barbecue guy. Like, this dude barbecues and sauces.
Big boy.
Yes. But he looks exactly like a dude that makes sauces. He's never eaten here. We've been open a couple years. He came in the other day and had a burger. Thank God I was working. But I made him a burger. I didn't make it any different than any other burger I've ever made. I'm making his burger. He comes back to the window and he's like, hey, dude, I saw you had gizzards. Like, give me some gizzards. I love gizzards. I was like, cool. Which is hilarious because a lot of people give us shit that we have gizzards. I love gizzards.
Oh, yeah. If you're from the South, you eat some gizzards.
Right. So he got a pound of gizzards, tots, and a burger. Ate his food. I'm sitting there talking to my wife. He comes over and he goes, Joe, I'm not a burger guy. Like, a burger to me is whatever. Like, a burger. It's a fucking burger. Because my wife's a burger person. Ironically, my wife was eating a burger that I made for her that was like a trial.
Mm-hmm.
I go, that's the burger person. I mean, whenever we eat out, I eat something stupid like a salad, and she always gets a fucking burger because I have to watch my weight and she can eat whatever the fuck she wants.
Must be nice.
He goes, that was one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome, dude.
I know. And I was like, this was like Wednesday. And I'm like, the sauce dude just told me that. Like, I just,
praise.
It was a high praise. It was so simple. He just came over. He's like, dude, that was amazing. It was just like so awesome to hear that.
Listen, Joe, people can go anywhere in town to get a burger. They come to Tchotchkes because of the environment. All right.
You only are wearing 12 pins.
You notice? I noticed you're only wearing 13 pieces of flair.
Is it 13?
Now Adam over here's got 27. Okay.
Also a great movie.
Oh, dude, that guy, we've been watching this series. I showed Debbie a scene from that this week because I was trying to describe, like, we work with this guy and nobody knows what his job is. Nobody knows what he does. Could you tell us
what
you do here?
Person.
Person. So I showed her that scene and she was like, yeah, that's absolutely him. Nobody knows what the fuck he
No,
does.
that movie again on top list. Like that movie right there is so perfect if you've ever worked in an office environment.
Yeah.
Ever. Like
his new series on Netflix, Louder Milk. It's got 3 seasons now. It's fucking amazing. It's him and Will Sasso. Yeah. It's pretty good. So
I forget what subject we're on. Your subject.
It's your turn now.
That was it. I only had 2 things.
Oh shit. Well, let me tell you about Taco Bell. There is a new thing happening in fast food. First of all, I went to Taco Bell this week and I got 3 burritos and a small soda, a small diet soda, because I'm watching my weight. Okay.
You're that guy now. You're old enough.
I'm Tenacious D.
Shittiest fucking food. But I'll do a diet soda. That's gonna make the difference.
All right, Cherry's Jubilee, but that's it. That's it. I'm watching my weight. And a fucking junior bacon cheese. Okay, because I'm watching my weight. All right. No, but I get 3 burritos and a fucking diet soda. And it
What
was
burritos though?
I got 2 burrito supremes and a beefy 5-layer. And it was $17.56.
Oh yeah. I still do bean and cheese. Bean and cheese burrito, extra onions.
Ooh,
Which used to be 99 cents, but now it's like 2 something.
That sound good. The thing that worries me about the bean and cheese when you're on the go is the leak. The bean and cheese fucking leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll ruin your outfit. Yeah.
No, I get pissed off. Like I'll leave here to get something during lunch, and Arby's is across the street. It will be kind of slow, kind of busy, like whatever. But Arby's across the street is like a fucking line. I'm like, Arby's? Are you serious right now? And I eat Arby's probably once a year.
You know, I love me some roast beef, son.
Bro, it's like $60 every time you go through. I'm like, I thought this was fast food. I'm like, what? I don't get it.
Changing. So apparently what's happening now is, do you remember back in like 2003 when you had a cell phone, but you wouldn't call your friends till a certain time because prime rates dropped off at 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they're starting to do with fast food now. They're initiating prime hours. So like if you go to get Taco Bell at noon or like 5:30 p.m., it will cost more than if you go at like 1 p.m. or some off hour.
It's actually smart.
I mean, it's smart.
I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to tell you why. Because you're going to pay your prime employees more money to pump up that food faster. And then your off-hour employees are going to pay less because they're not as good or as fast. So you can afford that food at that point.
So I'm okay with that because that would be a performance-driven model. I don't know if that's how they're paying their employees.
I don't know, but from my standpoint, that makes more sense.
I think double prime hours
and I actually
for Taco Bell start at midnight because everybody going through Taco Bell midnight or later, you could charge them $200 fucking bucks. They're not going to care. They're paying.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
So yeah. Jibbit hit a Freda. Dump run. I don't know why I put this on there. I think just because I went to the dump and there's nothing that makes you feel more manly than just going to the dump and throwing all the shit out of the back of your truck and leaving.
I have a fun dump story.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
So you were.
There I was. I don't remember who bought him this goddamn thing, but it was a dancing Santa Claus.
So fuck, we had one of those.
Yeah, and it would like play this song. Thank God I don't remember the song because it was that long ago. This is probably it's 15, so 13 years ago, and he would play this. Apparently, the batteries in this thing last forever because I never replaced the batteries, but years of this stupid ass Santa Claus that danced. I hated it so much. Both of us hated it. So I go to the dump one day, throw it in the back of the truck. Got permission from the wife for that one.
Nobody wants to see a fat white dude dance.
No. And the song was annoying as shit. It was like ho ho ho, some stupid shit. Anyways, so I unload the entire truck, but I set that aside.
Mhm.
and I load the entire truck, and I put it at the end of my tailgate, and I hit play, and I fucking punted this thing so far. And I got a round of applause from all the dudes that were there. Like, yes. Because they all understood. Fuck that guy.
There's a respect level at the dump. Like when you pull in, like I'm pulling into my fucking Dodge Ram. I got a big canopy on the top. And then you have like the fucking Subaru Outback that pulls in, and the dude's wearing like a marmot jacket, and he's got like low profile shoes because he's probably a fucking soccer fan. And the other
got
dudes
different
just kind of
dumps
look
for
at each
sure.
other like, well, dude, I'm in fucking Portland. But it is hilarious because the dump I go to is a fucking well-oiled machine. It's dialed. But I always feel like I'm trying to get away with something. Like I always have something that I got to drop off where I'm like, I don't know if this is legal per se, so I'm just gonna throw it and drive away as quick as I can. You know what I mean?
Paint.
So, yeah, paint. You're not supposed to fucking throw away paint for some
My
stupid
dad
reason.
was over. We're cleaning out my shop. It was like a year ago. They're all basically empty paint cans for the most
Mhm.
part. And there's probably like this much left in the gallon. He's like, "What are you gonna do with these?" I was like, "Fucking toss them." He's like, "Well, you have to let them out and let them dry out and blah 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 blah." I was like, "Just throw them in the bag and we're gonna throw them away. They're not gonna know." He goes, "That's not how it works." I'm like,
That's
This
exactly
winter-
how it works.
"Right." I'm like, "They're not." Once it like dehydronizes, do
It's
you
not
think
like
it's
it's fucking lead-based paint.
right? Do you think it's less polluted? Like, and we burn everything. Like, this state just takes everything to this huge fucking barrel and
Mhm.
burns it. Like,
That's what they all do.
right. And it's just like,
Yeah.
So if it's liquefied, it burns differently.
So you're telling me I can paint this door, let it dry, and then take it to the dump?
And it's fine. That's the difference.
Although I did show up because they've got like a separate section if you've got like old motor oil. And I got some pretty good looks because I just showed up with like a whole Home Depot bucket full of liquid. And they're like, what is it? I was like, well, it's motor oil, antifreeze, transmission
Jeez.
fluid. Like,
It's
there's a little
everything.
bit of everything. They're like, you couldn't separate those? And I was like, well, no, that's why I bought the big bucket.
It's the big bucket.
Like, I'm not going to separate antifreeze and oil. They're like, yeah, you should do that next time.
Yeah, this is where we get canceled. I just dumped that in my driveway.
Which one?
The dirt part. They oil roads.
No, which fucking chemical?
Oh, oil.
Dude, if we're
They
going to drill
oil
oil from the
roads.
ground and you're not going to tell me I can't fucking put it back in the ground, fuck you.
Right. Then you're not an environmentalist, apparently.
Also, a big reason why I don't believe I don't understand why they call it fossil fuel.
No, that's not real.
No, it's total bullshit. There's no dinosaur DNA in that shit. First and second of all, it's all in one spot. Do you think all dinosaurs just went to one fucking spot and are like, this looks like a cool place to die?
There's a giant
It's all
funnel
die right
that
here.
just fucking-
No, it doesn't. I don't understand how people think that that's a thing. So I read this book by Dan Barry, and he's one of my favorite authors. I don't read a lot. I'm a dumbass, but he's kind of like Dan Brown, where like the characters and the situation is fiction, but all the historical shit's real.
It's real, right?
So this guy theorizes that Earth is basically a living organism, and that oil deposits in the Earth are basically like zits on your face. They
I
just pop up once in a
I
while.
agree with that. I believe the Earth is a living organism. Jesus
Absolutely.
Christ. And we're
just little
parasites.
Parasites.
Because we have the same thing on us.
Yeah, we're not going to run out of oil. It's just going to kind of move around a little bit.
Great. I
Yeah,
concur.
I don't understand why they call it fossil fuel.
No. If you think it's dinosaur bones, like just go ahead and off yourself right now.
Yeah.
And if that's true, why are there so dinosaur bones in the Earth?
Exactly. That's the other thing too. Somebody was like trying to say that. I mean, I know a lot of people have argued about this, but the whole EV things being better for the Earth is
What the fuck
total
is EV?
fucking horseshit. Electric vehicle.
Oh no, fuck no. It's awful. It's
Yeah,
it
me and
is
Ron were talking about
so
it.
fucking bad for the environment. And if you think it's good, you're an idiot.
Well,
It
yeah,
takes-
and there was this great meme. Memes, you could write a fucking 1,000-page book. That's 1,000 for you non-math buffs out there. Um,
What were you saying about algebra earlier? He sure helps you.
I got a B minus. Actually, you know what? One of the best lessons I learned in life was in Mr. Loft's class. So there was this other chick in the class. Her name is, I think, Elena. I'm not going to go into her last name, but that chick taught me a lesson. So she was one of those chicks like me that was like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm never going to need to use this in my actual day-to-day life.
Right.
Why do we have to learn this? So me being a dumbass, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I rebelled, never did the homework and passed with like a D minus. We get to the end of the course. She's got an A plus and she's been complaining the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, yeah, it's total bullshit, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to fucking get an A and keep my options open. So that's one of the things I definitely want to teach my kid.
Right. You still have to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, so this meme that I saw was basically like,
you leaving me? Love you.
Oh, shit. Hi, Katie. That's nice.
Text me because I'm upset.
Okay.
So the meme has basically got like a bunch of old leathernecks out there in the fucking oil field. And it's like the people that fuel my vehicle. And then it's got a picture of like a bunch of little African kids in a cobalt mine that are like 8 years old. The people that fuel your vehicle.
Yep.
And it's absolutely true.
And the same people have written off Nike and, animals.
Apple phones.
Like all that shit. And then they're like, no. But the electric car is better. Like, what are you talking about?
No, it's not. Honestly.
It takes me back to your girlfriend years ago, or you might have dated her. You slept with her. But she was a vegan.
Definitely banged.
She was a vegan and had a BMW.
Oh, geez. I remember.
All leather interior.
Why is it that all fucking terrible women are named Nicole? You know that? You should feel honored, by the way, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This fucking bitch drove a BMW with leather seats, but I watched her go to a fucking protest and throw red paint on somebody because they had a fucking fur coat.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Man. I don't know. So Honda's doing the hybrid, or not the hybrids, hydrogen engines now, and they're actually making pretty good progress.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, because hydrogen, I'm pretty sure you can just get that from seawater.
Right.
And the emission
well, didn't Obama try to start
the Civil War? Yes.
Yes. But no, he started. I'm talking about element. He started all these things trying to convert seawater.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
Yeah. Into some kind of fuel. It was in California.
Well, we learned about this from the very smart Elizabeth Shue in the movie The Saint. It's called Cold Fusion. And I don't know if you believe in all this cold fusion mumbo jumbo, but dude, The Saint, fucking great movie. Oh my God, Val Kilmer in his prime. I'm not gay. I have a very staunch record of heterosexuality that I stand behind. But Val Kilmer in The Saint, I might let him fool around. I'm just saying.
No, that is the greatest movie. One of them.
And Elizabeth Shue. Oh, peak Elizabeth Shue. The only movie that Elizabeth Shue is potentially cuter in is Cocktails.
Almost. What was the movie? Oh, have you seen The Boys?
No.
It's a series on Netflix. She's still
where they're like superheroes?
Yes. Still
Elizabeth Shue's in that?
Yes.
Oh, she still just got.
She's like the CEO of the company, and she's like older. She's still gorgeous. It's just like forever gorgeous.
Well, and that's the thing. So young fellas out there, listen up. Hotness, you got a 50% chance that sticks around. Cuteness does not go away. A cute face with perfect teeth, you need to lock that down.
All right, we're coming up on the hour.
Yeah, cuteness doesn't disappear.
No. Well, in my case, it did. But.
Well, I mean, you're cute in your own way. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
last thing. I wanted to send a shout out this week. My neighbor Chris, you know Chris, right?
Yep.
He got me this badass hat for Christmas. It says Spokane. It's got the fucking Washington Bridge on it.
That's fucking cool.
And check this out. Hidden pocket underneath the patch. I'm having a lot of difficulty with right now.
That's the Monroe Street Bridge, by the way. but-
Monroe Street Bridge. It's got a hidden pocket in it, dude.
Of course it does. It's Spokane.
How fun is that?
It should have a tally mark of how many people have jumped off that bridge.
Well, it's where you keep your DUI lawyer card, is what you do.
Dude, do you remember that
It's
SNL
Spokane.
skit where it was like you keep your weed in it?
You can keep. Oh yeah, Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
He's
It's-
very funny when he wants to be.
So bad. I watched it the other day and I remembered it and I was like, dude, it is so fucking bad.
Half
As
baked?
a yeah, no,
Yeah.
it isn't Jon Stewart actually. It's
You can hide in there, man.
it's an Adam Sandler dude. I just saw him live like a couple months ago. God damn it, he's actually very far right now. It's the dude,
Jim Brewer?
huh?
Not
No.
Jim Brewer.
It's the guy. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking Rob Schneider.
That's who did.
I love me some Rob. People don't put respect on Rob Schneider's name the way they should.
No,
That
he's
dude
great.
crushes it in every fucking role.
Correct. But it was
Yeah.
him. But the skit is so bad. But
With
you
the weed in
remember
there,
things.
Jon Stewart in that, man. There's $100 bill. There's somebody running through the weeds. Red team go. Red team go. That's another movie that just has a shit ton of fucking catchphrases that are great. Yo, Killer B.
Dude, yeah.
You got to understand, Killer had a three-legged bitch of a
Bitch
mother.
of a mother.
And for that, he was ashamed.
Oh, timeless.
Oh, man. Well, it was good
All right.
chatting with you, buddy.
Yep. High five.
All right, high five. Till next week.
That was a movie reference. Totally missed it.
High five. What? Oh, fuck. Is that from fucking Demolition Man?
Bill and Ted.
Dylan. Oh, excellent. Yeah, that was good. That was for the video watchers.
Yeah.
So Real for Life podcast. Like I said, we got 8 listeners now, and I'm trying to quit my job. So if y'all could do us a favor, tell your friends, spread the word. We need a fucking sponsor. We need a sponsor. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Till next time, Real for Life podcast.
Thanks,
This is
everybody.
Justin Joe. See you next time. Uh-oh, my mouse gave out. God damn it.
You have a mouse? You're like legit now.
Oh, yeah, it's high tech.